Hey guys, we're back at it again. Welcome to another episode of me talking about interest checks that have caught my attention in the past week. In this episode, we're talking about key sets manufactured by 3 different companies, a PCB, and a keyboard. If this is the kind of info that you find fascinating, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stick around till after the break. Let's start out this episode with GMK Seafarer, first posted by IncoMK in early December. This is a WS1 white set with custom Ral blue accents. I know what you're thinking, Merlin, didn't you say that you don't like white sets? I'm willing to make an exception for this set, mainly because of the novelties, and the reason why is that I think this would look terrific on my upcoming Think 6.5 V2 in Ocean colorway. It's got all the popular nautical symbols such as an anchor, a wheel, a North Star, a compass, and several others. The rows here aren't labeled, but as you can see it goes from R1 on the top to R4 on the bottom too, which would make this perfect for the rightmost column of most 65%. I was originally going to go with GMK Nautilus, but I think this set would look much better. At the moment there's only 3 kits available and 2 dust mats. Out of the 2 dust mats, I'd probably pick the topography one, but to be honest, neither of them look too appealing. It works in some instances, but I always feel that dust mats that just have novelties on it seems kind of lazy and uninspired. He's got a few renders here on various different keyboard sizes, and I do think this works very well on a blue board, which makes me more excited about my Think 6.5. I'll definitely be using the blue accents and the novelties. A couple vendors are already listed such as Mex & Co., Ash Keebs, My Keyboard, KBD Fans, Ilum KB, Daily Clack, and Monster Gear. There's even several collaborations listed, but still no potential group by date quite yet. If you like ocean themes and a minimalist design, or perhaps you've got a Think 6.5 V2 on the way like me, the MechMerlin verdict is strong buy. JTK Retro Cyrillic was IC'd in early October by Hudro Thrilson. This isn't the first JTK set of his that has caught my eye, and I'm pretty sure this won't be the last. This is a very muted, vintage-like colorway with the red Cyrillic triple-shotted sub-legends. JTK will be matching with the GMK stock colors of L9, U9, and P3. It currently has a base kit with the sub-legends and alternate alphas kit which is Latin and space bars. This mainly caught my eye because of nostalgia. The very first cherry profiled caps I ever purchased were ePBT Cyrillic. I dailied them for several years at work, but as I continued to grow in this hobby, I started not liking the PBT feel as much. As a result, I stopped using it. During that same time period, I also started distancing myself from muted looking sets as I fell in love with the ABS colorways. This is a great set, but I wish this would have come out sooner, maybe like 2 years ago, because as of right now, I'm not too excited at this muted colorway anymore. At the time being, vendors listed are TX Keyboards, Apex Keyboards, My Keyboard, Z Frontier, Monoke, and Daily Clack. Still no group by date listed, but I sure hope it's soon. The MechMerlin verdict is strong maybe. This is an IC posted by PlopMK in September of 2020, and is actually going to be live on February 1st. If you're watching this right when this video comes out, that's next week. Ramenstop is a 2-tone katakana set inspired by small ramen shops. Colors listed are custom Pantones for green, white, yellow, and pink. The base kit only covers common layouts up to TKL, but one thing I want to point out here is actually something I mentioned in the last video. You'll notice that the alphas all have sub-legends, and the modifiers are icon mods. These are my preferred modifier legends when it comes to key sets with sub-legends. This set comes with quite a massive novelty kit. There's even 4 separate add-ons, a spacebar kit, and an accent kit. Good thing all these kits are relatively cheap. The most expensive is the base kit at $75, and each of the novelties range from $15 to $22.50. However, things do add up. If you've ever been to a ramen restaurant, they usually have a standard ramen with maybe a standard broth with one topping that's served fairly cheap. And then you flip the page on the menu. You start seeing all the different toppings you can throw in, and before you know it, your cheap ramen dish is now actually quite expensive. I feel like you're gonna get the same experience here. The renders here are done very well, depicting several of the possible combos. I, for one, am a little biased towards this colorway, as it gives me some GMK Merlin vibes. Another good looking one is the candy bar with pink Novelkeys. They also have 3 dust mats listed, but I think there's a missed opportunity here. One of the dust mats should have been a ramen menu. I love the theme, I love the colors, and really the only bad thing I can say about the set is beware the ePBT warpage. I've heard that they've improved things quite a lot, but I have no direct experience. The MechMerlin verdict is strong consider. This is an IC posted by Hadi in late September of last year. I was very surprised to see this actually, because I've met Hadi. Hadi is a fellow Pacific Northwesterner, and I've met him quite a few times at the Seattle meetups and the Portland meetups. Anyway, I think this is the first time I've ever featured a PCB on the show, but what caught my eye is the list of features this 60% has. Aside from the usuals, it's got ESD protection, overcurrent protection, EMI filtering, flex cuts, and a JST header to fit the universal daughterboard standard. It's also projected to sell at roughly 30 bucks. That's really cheap. For my purposes and budget, this is awesome. He does advertise that no LEDs are supported on this board. If it had included RGB underglow and maybe an ARM microcontroller, this probably would have been the perfect 60% PCB for me. At this point in our hobby, there are very few 60s with ESD protection, even fewer with ESD and overcurrent protection, and I can't even think of a board that has EMI filtering. Like, is electromagnetic noise even a problem with boards that don't have LEDs? If you know the answer, jot it down in the comments down below. Anyway, if you're looking for a cheap 60% with lots of bells and whistles, but no LEDs, this board might just be for you. The MechMerlin verdict is strong consider. This is a keyboard IC'd by Bergoli in early September. This is probably one of the more unique boards I've ever talked about on the show. At the moment, this is advertised as an aluminum board with a 6-degree typing angle. It's also got a brass weight and only one layout, HHKB. It's also a hot swap PCB and supports the universal daughterboard standard. To be honest, what caught my eye is this picture right here. And at first I thought this was a joke. It's not. While I can use the HHKB layout, it is probably my least favorite 60% layout. So that's already a no-go for me. Also, for a board that is called Swiss, I'm disappointed that the PCB doesn't have a Swiss cheese layout. It's not universal at all. I think it's like a missed opportunity right there. With that said, I'm quite intrigued by the Swiss cheese design. It's definitely a novelty and not for everyone. I usually feature ICs in the show that I have some inkling of wanting to buy, and honestly, this might be the first instance where I really don't. I just wanted to point it out because it's so funny looking, it's so cool. So now comes the hardest part. What is the MechMerlin verdict? I don't know. Certified cheesy. Alright guys, thanks again for joining in. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions about any of these interest checks, all links posted down below, so check them out. Anyway, hope to see you next time, and I'll catch you when I catch you. Goodbye guys.